Well, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome to Tech Talk with Zyxel. My name is Tri Nguyen. I am the product manager, market development manager here at Zyxel. I just wanted to check real quick because last time I had some audio problems. Give me a raise of hands if I seem to sound okay. I don't sound so digitized or anything like that. Thank you, Paul. Good to see you, Paul. Hakeem, thank you, Sue, as well. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Today, we're going to talk about some new product that Zyxel is looking at introducing to our partners. It's called Zyxel Astra, and it is a endpoint security solution to start. It's going to be for the mobile devices that are in the field and to be able to solve those problems and how to put security into those types of devices where you don't have network control per se. And so we're going to talk about that and kind of get your feedback on that. And I want this also to be interactive. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A and I will try to answer them as we go along throughout the process here. But again, welcome, and just a quick introduction of who we are, like I usually do. If you've attended these before, we are Zyxel Networks, now with over 1 million businesses working smarter with Zyxel solutions, 100 million devices making connections globally, 600 employees serving 150 markets. We've been in the business for 32 years, since 1989. So we are Zyxel Networks, and we are serving you through a lot of our sales rep folk, David Chen, Andy, and Jacob. These are the regions that they serve. And so wherever you are as partners, you have access to them for any questions, any opportunities you need to talk about, so that we could bring in support. We could bring in systems engineers to support you on any of your solutions. So make sure you have the right person that you're talking to, or we'll direct you to the right person. But once you know who it is, they will be your main point of contact. We are internationally recognized for our innovation and our design for all types of products and solutions around the world, anything that's connected to a network. We pride ourselves in over 20 years of certification with ICSA Labs, part of Verizon. And so all of our security products, our firewalls, our VPN solutions, those are all verified to co-interact and co-work with other solutions, other vendors that have ICSA certification as well. So we're one of the few vendors who have this for the last 20 years straight, over 20 years. So we are solutions driven. So we depend upon partners like yourself to provide us with feedback and working with us to provide solutions to your customers, end-to-end product solution offerings, whether it be new solution deployments. We work with our R&D because of the software that we create, the hardware that we design, and to get your feedback to putting new features and functionalities is very important to us, making sure that we can fulfill your needs for managing your customers, as well as functionality to provide the solutions that your customers need. But overall, just making sure that everything is working the way that it should be, and dealing with us directly to be able to help you with that. And so our portfolio is a comprehensive one: end-to-end solution, security appliances, wireless connectivity, switching networks with fiber backend, with and without PoE, gateway solutions to provide hotspot access, network management, both local and in the cloud. So we have all these different solutions that will help you with your deployment. I think I'd actually have hold on real quick. I think this is moving to the wrong slide deck. Hold on just a second. I just noticed that it is going into the wrong group here of slides. Where is my, I think my slides got removed somewhere. Hold on just a moment. We always have some sort of technical difficulty. I thought I loaded the right slide deck here. Hold on. I think I have the wrong slide deck. Let me double check this real quick. Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like those Astra slides are kind of missing at the moment. So let me do this. Give me just a second. I apologize. Give me just one moment. All right, so here we go. So a quick jump into these slides. So the Astra service is all about network endpoint security and being able to provide that on the devices that are available, mostly on mobile. So that's where we're first starting, is on the mobile devices, on phones, tablets, on iOS and Android. And what we're doing is actually providing a kind of a preview of the solution to partners to be able to use the solution. So why do we need endpoint security? So what's important is that cyber attacks is targeting a lot of those endpoints. When networks themselves have some sort of defense, you have a firewall in place, but you don't have control over what's being used on the networks. Or people are using laptops, people especially with mobile, being able to work from home, remote officing, et cetera. They're moving around the network. They're moving to different networks and have potential exposure to that. So if you're able to get access to this endpoint, then whenever that endpoint comes back into any of those other networks, it could provide an entryway into that network and be able to utilize that as a kind of a stepping stone into other aspects or other things in the network to try to make attacks for. So cyber attacks are happening there, finding loopholes once this user is coming back to the network. So applications are also moving into the cloud. So not necessarily protection in the office network is needed for servers as much, because a lot of all those applications are moving into the cloud, or you're going to be using VPN connectivity to get back to the office if you do have some resources locally. But a lot of that's happening in the cloud too. But we're sacrificing some of that security because now it's on the outside. It's something that you can't control within a firewall. So we have to kind of enable some sort of protection capability within these if you want to maintain overall security. So that's always going to be a difficult point for us to try to manage, and for IT managers to try to keep control of, because people are using these in different locations and different aspects, or even hotspots that may not be secured. We've been to hotels where the network itself is just wide open. In some cases, it's not properly locked down. People can see each other's share drives. The kind of the aspects or the risk of people being able to inject things or files being opened by accident, that can also cause a lot of problems. But really the network perimeter needs this layer of protection, at least visibility, because again, those users are moving from home offices to remote offices to traveling people on the road. And so we want to make sure security is a very important part of that mentality within the organizations. All of the services and applications, they're all decentralized. They're no longer in that office. So they're kind of connected in the cloud. We are working from home. So we need visibility and control of that, especially the IT side. And you as managed service providers or partners who are installing these kinds of solutions to your businesses and to your customer businesses, you want that visibility. You want visibility to be able to see who's connected, what devices are there, what applications are being used, be able to control that, to be able to even assign different types of resources, or provide different levels of authentication, making sure that if they're accessing maybe your billing system remotely, that there is some sort of strong authentication method that's enforced, maybe two-factor authentication, again, having control over that. And then if you happen to see something, be able to take a response, to make a response, timely reaction of what is possibly malicious, being notified of that information so that you can take action properly and make sure that those are, being able to control and to be able to mitigate when that happens. So some of the key features, let me just double check here on my slides here. I have a couple that are hidden that I wanted to make sure that we also saw. We have a decentralized network. Give me just one moment again. I just want to. I wanted to unhide some of these. These are some pretty nice slides here that I didn't want to for us to miss. So I just wanted to unhide them for the moment to make sure that we could see them. All right, again, sorry about that. All right, I think we should be okay. So again, everything is going into the headquarters, either people are VPNing into it, and that's kind of your normal centralized type network. So then you can control it with that firewall. You're able to put UTM services, IPS, content filtering services, all of that. And then that's kind of the traditional way of things of doing it. Single place for your security makes it really easy for you to manage. But because everybody else is now decentralized, security is much more difficult. You have to either do it within the cloud itself, but you can access all of these solutions in the cloud for outside of your office. And so unless you actually, having a way to make sure that these users are going through a specific maybe tunnel or forcing them to go through the tunnel, there's no way to control it. So we have to make sure that you can, deal with that today, because those applications, again, are in the cloud. So we want to secure networks in a way that allow for even roaming users, people work from home, be able to manage all of that. And also not just manage that, but the number of devices that are out there when you have, just say, an office with several users, with several laptops, several devices, mobile devices, then it starts multiplying where it becomes very difficult to centrally manage that network. So how can Astra really help to enhance this kind of network? Well, reasons to enable this level of cloud security. The firewall is set to protect, devices within the network perimeter. Users can roam outside of it, but using cloud security helps to eliminate the cost and hassle of a backhaul that you're sending it into the main, main point of the office and then going out. You can block threats from the mobile devices itself before it even gets into the network. You can centralize the user behavior, monitor that across the infrastructure, multiple sites, multiple organizations, and be able to manage that within the solution. You can then change, into a more subscription service model in terms of making this being able to cloud security service that you're managing, and deliver it in a way that you can scale it to security. So within the cloud computing side, you can scale to as many users as you need without having to worry about the firewall itself within the local prem. Again, because they're not necessarily behind that local firewall in the first place. So more roaming users around the, using services around the decentralized network here means that there are potential for more attacks, right? There are more nodes that could have, compromised, devices that can then, again, take that back into an existing network onto the back end, which then, can infiltrate behind the firewall without the firewall even knowing that kind of device is there. So it has access to then, all the different network activities. You never know what kind of scanning tools that malicious device might be doing. And so it's really difficult to kind of manage that, again, if you don't have a way to secure that network. But we provide through Astra security in that borderless perimeter. We can secure remote users roaming from outside, going in, or while they are outside that, your zero, trust network that you've built, and to ensure that people aren't getting or bringing in that kind of malicious either activity or malicious files or things like that. So we can actually use that to monitor and secure those users regardless of where they're at. So really the Astra solution provides that front end cyber attack defense. So it's just another layer of defense to protect yourself from phishing, exploits, or endpoint security, maybe injections. But you can use that with Astra. And Astra is a app on the mobile at the moment. You can manage the mobile device without having to sacrifice the performance of that mobile device as well. You can get ahead of all the different malicious threats that are roaming out there, and be able to control that and get visibility of that. And that's the main purpose of this solution, is being able to provide a level of security on those devices. And again, just want to reiterate that we are working on a fuller solution that includes the Windows and Mac OS operating system. This first kind of a preview, we did run a beta, which some of the partners that some of you may have already been participating with, but this is our kind of our preview edition, where it is free to use. I think it's until September when we officially launch a kind of a license base for it, as we add the the additional features that we want before we launch it into a full paid version. But there's a preview version now that you can use and give us feedback on the Mac OS, iOS and Android operating systems on devices. So some of the key features of Astra is that it's there to predict to be able to identify, again, the devices, applications, be able to prevent that access of those resources, or maybe prevent them from going to different websites or certain IP addresses that might be malicious, and be able to monitor that activity as well to see if it's, maybe potentially in a IP range or in a website that is unsafe, and then be able to notify, also even be able to block. You can do real-time browsing detection and identify what is malicious within the app and the cloud solution. It's in constant communication with that. And the response, being able to look at the traffic, over a 7-day period, over a 24-hour period, to look at historical data, and then provide that to the admin and be able to see all that and be able to take proper action on, what to do in regards to that device, or maybe different policies that need to be enabled to protect those devices. And again, it's for the mobile at the moment. So we have currently launched is our iOS and Android version, which then includes services like the IP reputation, URL filtering, dark web monitoring through like email, like from dark web, sites or things like that. In-app push notifications for that application to both the member and also to the admin. So it's in that preview edition. It gives you email leak monitoring, IP URL reputation, and all the different mobile apps right now. Now, in May, we had launched some additional features, additional web filtering and cloud management portal to help you to manage the Astra solution for that entity. One thing just to point out too, right now, we are looking at integrating more of this into a kind of a similar to a Nebula platform where you can manage multiple organizations. At the moment, it is currently tied into a single account can manage for that customer. So eventually we'll have a way to migrate that console and management into a more, a VAR multi-tenant service managed solution in the near future. But until then, each account will be managing, a single customer. So you don't want to actually put it on, your MyZyxel account. You might want to create, a sub account for a customer. So, for your customer at your domain, and provide that as your MyZyxel account so that you can manage that for the customer. Or if the customer wants to manage it themselves, or they want to use their existing MyZyxel, or however you've deployed maybe their solution, their security solutions, you can use their account or that account that's applied for their office and use that to manage the Astra solution. So first defenses, there's again, dark web monitoring, the filtering, the mobile console web filtering, cloud management portals. We're going to be adding in Q3 more account-based licenses that you can purchase online directly through like Circle, get your partner discounts through that MyZyxel and Circle marketplace, and also maybe able to purchase those licenses in that Q3 timeframe. So we're looking more towards that September timeframe to have that available. In Q4 of this year, though, we will also launch or add additional features like application patrol, and then integration with our USG and ATP firewalls so that you can manage that endpoint, and also some information. Maybe there's information sharing between the devices and also our firewalls, and then also release a Windows and Mac OS version as well, so that you can have endpoint security solutions on also like laptops and computers to ensure that those devices that are in the office or moving around within different offices can also have this level of security. So that's kind of the roadmap that we have right now. Again, we're in that preview stage right now. So the preview edition you can download now. You just have to go on to and search for that for the app. Some of the features that are available here, there's both a portal and an app. So within the portal, you can manage a bunch of things. You have a lot of visibility. The main differences of the portal is that it gives you the ability to do content filtering policies, device management, and license management when that becomes available. The app, by itself, as an admin, gives you status monitoring. It can view all those things for the analysis information, dashboard from all the members that you're working on. You can do website block monitoring, IP block monitoring, block alerts, block alerts for all the different members that are there. And then also some member management. So member management, I'll talk about what's the difference between the admin management and the admin and the member, and the differences between those. So, we'll get to that. So to use the portal and the app, it's actually really easy. You just have to go to log into Astra. You just have to invite, and Astra is part of the My Zyxel as well. You just have to go and invite members. So you can invite, or it will send emails to whoever. Let's say you have a device, a mobile device that you want to secure. So you can invite that member, and it will send it to that email account. They can click on the link that sends them to the download of the Astra app. And then that has all that included. So they can, once they download and install it, it's now part of the portal and can start being monitored by the admin that sent out that email. So how does the app work? So it kind of, again, it's split into two different things, like we had mentioned earlier in that list. The admin is just, let's say, the company's IT. It could be you managing it for the partner, or for your end customer. You could be the IT manager, which allows for you to set up the security. You could choose the members. You could do the license management. So we have in the portal, you can create and activate within the portal of My Zyxel. So you log into your My Zyxel, you create and activate that account. You would either purchase the license or enable the preview licensing. You can add members, and when you add a member, that email is sent to the user to point them to download the app. They can log in and with that link, and then be able to begin the monitoring process, and be able to monitor themselves as well to see the different blockings. And then on the management side, on the admin portal, you can then also get that information as well. So you get all of that access within the portal side. So we want to be able to, again, one of the aspects, one of the main features of Astra is to be able to predict attacks. So we can use the cloud, we can use the information that is being sent and digested by the cloud system to identify abnormal activities, be able to see if there's any potential threats, malicious attacks. And so Astra's intelligent events features, it was able to see that, and see all these types of potentially suspicious activities. And then use that and analyze it, and then provide you with relevant information, whether it thinks it's a high risk attack potential, if it's a just a normal kind of activity, or potentially malicious. So then you can choose, and all the high risk ones you'll be notified of, and then there'll be warnings, information of that for different other types of attacks. So you get to kind of choose like what you want to be able to log the information, but it can definitely, you can drill into as well. This is kind of the interface you could drill into and track all the different event details. You can see the time of the threat, what was blocked, what type of devices that were there, all of the relevant information that you want, so you can identify what it is, and the owners of them, even on and off status as well, and be able to see that and make decisions on what to do. Maybe because it's compromised, you then have to take action to either run it through antivirus, or find ways to remove whatever it may be, whatever it's been taken over by. It could be malicious files, could be any kind of vulnerabilities that have been enabled. Then you can be able to take action. Or a lot of times it's just, maybe people are going to websites, or they accidentally are clicking on these links that are taken to potentially malicious sites, or maybe malicious like phishing type emails that they're clicking, or that they're seeing that's coming to the device. We're able to then see that and be able to take action, either to educate or to notify those users of these potential dangers. So you can then again take some proactive as well by seeing what's going on within the network, and be able to take action on those. You get to visualize all that data. So we digest that. You can see, how we're protecting, and this is a valuable tool to your customers as well. If you're going to sell the service to somebody, and you're going to charge them potentially, monthly fees for providing this endpoint security solution, then it's good that they can see what's going on. They can see the activity. They can log into and see, either if they're the admin side access, or if they're just the user, they can see what is being protected against. So you can see all the different alerts, again, block websites. And so this is a valuable information to show and showcase what is being protected. With a lot of security solutions today, the hardest part, I always say it's similar to like insurance. You really don't know if it's really protecting until it's done or something is needing to be protected. Or even with security, if you don't know if you're really protected against, because it's doing its job, because you're not getting, viruses, or you're not getting ransomware is hitting you, but you really don't know what's really happening. But being able to provide a way, a system to look into it and get a window into what's going on during that month, during that week, during that day, you now have valuable information that shows this is valuable because I'm seeing these things being blocked. Even on maybe on the live, on the live scale, on the current, what's happening right now, and be able to use that for, just information on what is that. And it just, again, shows value of that solution that you're providing. So we really can bring that value of visibility into security that the Astra app brings to the table. So we also can prevent by blocking or maybe mitigating different types of high risk categories using the content filtering services. Again, many of you may be already using our USG ATP products in the firewall. So if the user's in the office, then typically there's no big issue, right? They're already behind a blocking policy. You're able to already do that kind of threat prevention. But again, what happens if that user now uses their mobile device or or a work device that roams outside of the network? Then they're no longer subject to necessarily with the content filtering, unless you've put some sort of endpoint security. You either put in a content filtering device or a service or a subscription to some sort of, again, endpoint solution to provide that kind of policy, or you're forcing those devices to, 100% VPN tunnel all traffic back to headquarters or back to your office before it goes out to the internet. But again, that requires resources, because now, people are sending all of their traffic, whether it's no matter what it is, to get scanned. So at the head end office or in your main office, it's going to need to have a larger internet connection in order to facilitate all of that. And typically that doesn't work as well, because now you're subject to, or the devices are subject to, all traffic that is going out, on their upload speed as well. So their requests to upload speeds coming out and then being able to download, which is then the upload speed of that office coming back to the user. So it kind of makes it difficult, again, with, existing upload speeds that we have in the US, unless you're using, synchronous bidirectional like fiber connections where you have up and download speeds that are very high, then that could be more feasible. But in this particular case, you're able to block now devices and initiate different profiles into the Astra solution, and all those members are then subject to that. The benefit also is then now you can manage across the board. So all the devices can be subject to a single policy, and you just have to manage and monitor that one policy and make changes to that one that will then, affect all the rest of the different devices that are there. You can block websites, you can make custom URL groups, you can add forbidden URLs, things like that. So categorizations and also whitelist, blacklists as well. So if they're using a company device and they're trying to, to use it for work purposes and work purposes only, then you can have full control over what kind of web page is it. It could be, just allowed to go to your different CMRs, online, different web shares, et cetera, intranet access, all of those things. You can enable that and take control of that. You can also help to prevent, and detect compromised email leaks. So Astra can also check your email, and see whether it's been compromised in a data breach as well. So if your email account has been hacked, Astra will send automatic notifications to you, and also remind you to help you to reset passwords and update all of that in case you have been hacked or potentially have been hacked. So we can detect all of that within the Astra services to make sure and be able to make sure that those emails are not compromised. We can then detect different types of threats. So again, this is part of that kind of active threat management, be able to see real-time graphs on usage, web browsing detection, potential infected members, infected devices, and different blocking events and logs, for, again, like I said, 7 days or the last 24 hours. So you can see kind of that threat as you've been alerted. You can see, is there a history of potential threats that have been happening until it got to a kind of a critical mass there, or is it just like kind of a new threat that has just come on? So you can look at that and see all the different members and threat statistics in the dashboard of the portal. You can then show the latest security events in real time as well. So you can look at what are being blocked on the day basis, or what is the current activity for different malicious sites, URL, IP addresses, anything that could be potentially malicious. And you can see that within a threat map, and then be able to respond, be able to collect that historical data, see what's happening on your network, and be able to look at it from 7 days or 24 hours and store it for the admin in the cloud, and then also send you warnings within the application, and be able to handle that. So you get to decide. We will help to provide you with the necessary alerts and alarms for all the critical things, but you might have certain aspects where you want to be alerted, be notified on certain types of activity. Maybe there's certain websites that you don't want people to go to, and you want to be just notified so that you can talk to the employee or manage it within the device, or even to block those. So you have the ability to whitelist, blacklist those as they pop up. So you might see, oh, somebody's been going to Reddit really often. You don't necessarily have to just go and talk to them, and you could just say, well, that Reddit's now blocked. So you can then put that within your whitelist, blacklist, and just take care of the issue like right away. It also, with the security indicator, can also rank the different users that are most blocked, the most blocked websites, blocked devices. And again, all this information, all these portals are created, but we would love your feedback, because if you would say, hey, you know what, the security indicator, it should have this information, or it would be useful to have this maybe digested into a summary of a type of information. So definitely let us know, because again, we're always working with our partners to improve the product. And that's kind of the purpose of that preview, of this preview as well, is we want to make sure before we go into a paid service model for this kind of service, we want as many people to try to use it as possible, and give us feedback on the solution, and what information is be helpful on that as well. So the navigation structure, we won't go into many details, but when you log in, this is kind of the overall feel of the management or the navigation structure of the portal. The license management part will show up later on when we do have kind of the license subscription purchasing capabilities, and it's going to be in that next phase. And we're going to have it tied in with our Zyxel Circle / marketplace platform, where you currently can buy. You can also buy the licenses and keys through our normal distribution channel as well. And this is kind of the navigation within the app structure. Again, the admins will see what's in that middle section here on the admin only. They'll have that visibility. And everywhere else on the app, anybody else who's a member will be able to see those other things. Oh, there's a typo. You should be signing in before you start the Astra app. Admin, you just log into your Zyxel, and as an admin role, you can invite those members. Those members get those emails, and it should look something like this. There's like a 2-level login function there. So the admin role, you can register or log in with your Zyxel account, and the member role, you get an account password. You can set up if you don't have one yet. You get an email to invitation to sign up and to sign in. So then that's kind of the processes for that. And the service license models, this is kind of just the first kind of estimation. They could change, but this is what we're actually targeting for. And compared to a lot of the services that are out there, this is very competitive as well. This is kind of the visible street price that you would typically see. For a 30-day trial, we offer 5 users that can support, each user can support up to 2 devices, so 10 total devices. And that's currently free right now. Even when we do have our paid service, we're going to offer a 30-day free trial that can work on mobile phones, Windows machines, and Mac OS as well. You can pay for a monthly subscription. Monthly subscriptions can be, utilized by you as just as a kind of a lower entry cost per month, service that you're offering to your customers, or it could be used to potentially, co-terminate different devices. But it's offered right now in like 5 user packs. There's also other licenses that we're going to be adding that are going to be additional higher number of users as well. But we're starting right now at the 5 user, so 10 device kind of application monthly subscription. That's about $6.25. Again, that's the visible street price that we're aiming for, but we want the yearly subscription to be around $60 a year for 5 users or 10 devices per year. So that's kind of the general licenses. Again, those will be purchasable through distribution when that comes available in Q4, and then also available within our Circle marketplace. Let me go back to the other slideshow then. Let me share that. Where's my share window? Share. So we work through distribution. If you are not yet a partner, we'd love for you to be partners. There's no cost to join. You automatically hit our silver tier. Again, no cost to join. If you happen to attend any of our trade shows like ASCII events, AHOA, any of those kinds of events that we're launching. I think we're in Toronto in a couple of weeks, and then we'll be in like Dallas area. We'll be in New York, New Jersey area as well. So if you happen to be there and join, we automatically push you into the gold tier when you attend one of those trade shows that we go to. So definitely reach out to our sales reps. We send notifications and invites in there. So it's really no cost to you when you use our code to get into that application. Go to that trade show. You only have to, pay your way to get there. And we got to meet a lot of our partners who, were able to just drive there, 45 minutes or so and be able to attend a really nice event and be able to learn about trading, about MSPs, and how networking in general and all different aspects of the business for MSPs. And of course, we'll be there to showcase our products and talk with partners as well. But we want you to be a partner with us. We want you in the gold tier because it gives you the maximum discounts through distribution. We work through distribution, so you don't buy products from us directly. We sell them through D&H, Ingram, TD Synnex, Wave, Target, and Pace International. And you can choose those and buy products through them. We load your accounts and discounts on the back end. So if you have accounts with them, you can qualify to get those discounts. So if you are not a partner, you're leaving margin money on the table, because that should be you should be able to see these discounted prices when you log into your portals for purchasing of those products. So definitely reach out to us, our sales rep that I showed earlier, if you have any questions on how to sign up. But we want you to be a Zyxel approved partner. So if you want to connect with us as well, we're on LinkedIn at Zyxel-US-channel, or you can find me at just Zyxel Try at LinkedIn as well. And on YouTube, we are Zyxel America channel. So there's a lot of training, a lot of webinars, information that might be helpful for you if you want to be able to sign up. So now if you have any questions, we do have a couple minutes. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A section. If you could think of anything now, we didn't have any questions early on, but maybe you might have a question later. And if you do have a question later, feel free to send me an email. It's try@zyxel.com. And If you don't have any questions and you're kind of done with the webinar, you're free to drop off, or you can stick around and see if there's any questions. Let's see. Paul says my client base is using Mac. If I understand correctly, Mac support won't be available to after the normal trial period is over. Is there a way for us to trial the Mac version? There's no current Mac version. I think when we do have that release of a Mac app, there'll probably be beta, and Paul will definitely reach out to you. Send me an email, Paul, and I will ask our R&D when the Mac version is available before the release. I mean, until then, you can also use the iOS to test out. You can still log into the portal side just so you can see kind of the management of those devices. And then if you happen to have a Mac, an iOS or Android device, you could still test out kind of the solution before it goes into the Mac side of it. But definitely, they should have a beta version of that when that becomes available. Definitely before the launch. All right. I think that might be all of the questions for now. Again, if you want to ask a question later on, if you think about it as you're looking this over, again, feel free to send me an email, try@zyxel.com, or if you have any suggestions, thoughts, comments, maybe ideas on future tech talks of subject matter that you would like to hear more about, learn more about, or even specific products that you want to learn a little bit more in depth of, let us know, because we also do some more tech solutions that we go a little bit more in depth on configurations. Our systems engineer Marcus hosts those once a month as well for different types of products. So if there's particular products or different types of solutions, how to better make these configurations on a certain type of application, then let us know, and we will definitely get that onto the schedule so we can have that topic sent to you, or presented to you. Because we really want to educate our partners. We know that you are the ones who are in the front lines that are doing the configurations, and we want to be able to provide you, maybe new aspects of the solution, or maybe some things that you've been using a firewall for a long period of time, but never knew that it could do this kind of solution. A lot of that sharing can be happening and help you to find new avenues of revenue, new potential opportunities that are out there. So until then, I thank you for your time. Have a good rest of your day, your afternoon, and stay safe and healthy. And we look forward to talking to you again soon. Until then, my name is Try, and I look forward to talking to you again. Have a good day.